Hello, my name is Scott Davis, and welcome to New World Birth. This is the care and feeding of a New World Age report for the Gregorian date of March 30th of 2015, and one Muluc or offering in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. And we'll be looking at Mercury moving into Aries, Mars entering Taurus, the Libra full moon, Jupiter turning direct, and Venus entering Gemini. March 30th is one Muluc or offering, which carries the themes of water, rain collected in water pots, vessels of gratitude for life, clouds heavy with rain, the sacred jade stones used in rituals and burials, offerings made in ceremony, baptisms and purification, deep undercurrents of emotions, restoring equilibrium, the appreciation for creation, releasing negative patterns, energy, and emotion, and accepting change. The day glyph for offering depicts a fish who represents the Mayan water deity. The energy of this 13-day period is about gratitude for life and cleansing the past for transformation in the present. And having one Emish or crocodile as a day sign, this is my Trisena, where I experienced 5 days leading up to my Zolking return as releasing the past to prepare for a new beginning as I enter into my own personal round. And since we begin a new Gregorian month during this Trisena, I thought I'd discuss the metaphysics of the upcoming month. And April is the fourth month, and with the digits of 2015, when we add them together, we get 12, and then we add the 1 and the 2, and it tells us that we're in a 12-3 month in numerology. And basic numerology reduces numbers to 1 through 9. So when we think about that arc, the 3 represents a time of that which brings creativity and a chance to let go of some of the intensity of the past 2 months. The 12-3 combination is represented by the Hanged Man and Empress Tarot cards, which is about our willingness to turn ourselves upside down to see from a new perspective through nurturing others and ourselves. Alan Cohen expressed the energy of the Hanged Man in "The world would have you agree with its dismal dream of limitation, but light would have you soar like the eagle of your sacred visions." The Empress could be described by this quote from The Road Less Traveled by Scott Peck. Love is the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. So April is a month to change our perspective, to find freedom from limitation through nurturing ourselves and others and expressing our creativity, love, happiness, and optimism after coming through the fire of the final Uranus-Pluto square in March. And I think it's actually a funny synchronicity of having my Zolking return during an Empress month, because the numerology of my birthday is the 21 universe and 3 Empress combination in the tarot cards. And many years ago, I used to do these multi-systemic readings where I would move freely from a person's numerology and tarot to their Mayan day sign, to astrology, to human design in giving a reading. And I actually think there's still a video of my using my own information as a reference on the New World Birth YouTube page. So anyway, before getting into the daily energy for one Muluc or offering, on the 30th, all the planets are appearing to be moving forward from our vantage point here on the Earth, with the exception of Jupiter and Saturn, which are appearing to be moving retrograde or in reverse motion. And remember, the themes of retrograde planets are a review of the past, reevaluate, reminisce, and we can see these themes being played out. Jupiter is retrograde in Leo. Brings a review of opportunities, faith, religion, beliefs, and expansion. Leo is about leadership, creativity, drama, entertainment, and children. And mostly what I find with Jupiter retrograde, as with any retrograde cycle, there's a review of the past. And with Jupiter, what gets reviewed are missed opportunities. But Jupiter is going to be turning direct on April 9th. So it's at a standstill and at the peak of its power during the one offering Trecena. And then Saturn retrograde, it reviews our commitments, plans, what we do for work, and the structures of our lives. And this one is a little more complicated in most because Saturn begins its apparent reverse movement in Sagittarius, but then later it backs into Scorpio. And Saturn retrograde is a real taskmaster that demands that we take responsibility to review our beliefs while in Sagittarius and review our ethics while in Scorpio. And so we're going to now take a look at the daily vibrational energy for this Trecena. On March 30th, we have one Muluc or offering, unity experience through appreciating creation in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. And at this point, we've got Mercury moving into Aries, um, which brings our minds and communication into the realm of new beginnings, restlessness, impulsivity, impatience, the self, and courage. And in Aries, Mercury gains strength, imparting aggressiveness in thinking and dialogue. It's also brilliance brings brilliance to the intelligence. Expect people to become more outspoken and witty, but also impatient and self-serving until it moves into Taurus on April 14th. And then also on the 30th, we've got Venus in a trine to Pluto. So from our perspective here on Earth, this is forming a 120-degree angle, which is a day when we might hear from or contemplate contacting a former lover. With Pluto involved, this intensifies our emotional expression as emotions come to the surface that can now be meaningfully expressed to your loved ones. This alignment deepens our emotions and makes our relationships intense. It's quite likely that people will feel love more strongly under this transit and express those feelings to the object of their affection. Sexual desires also increase under a Venus-Pluto combination. This is not an intellectual experience, but rather love expressed through mind, body, and emotions. This transit can produce profound insights that reveal the inner workings of our relationships. Beginning a relationship during this transit indicates that the connection will feel quite intense, as if drawn together by some magical power. This can be it can be a good relationship as long as the couple recognizes that the compulsive quality will wear off long before this pairing solidifies into a long-term relationship. This transit is great for artistic work because of the emotional intensity characteristic can be harnessed in work that reveals inner depth of the artist's soul. I'm not going to be covering the daily lunar activity in these videos other than new moons and full moons, but that information is available on the New World Birth daily Facebook posts and also on the blogger New World Birth blog. So if you want the daily lunar information, that would be the place to go for that. On the 31st, we have two Ak or dog duality experience through enjoying family and friends, while Mars enters into Taurus. So we've got quite a bit of planets changing signs here, where Mars is in its detriment because Taurus is opposite Scorpio, and Scorpio is the sign of traditional rulership by Mars. So this begins the shift of our desires and drives represented by Mars, entering into Taurus, which emphasizes comfort and calm as we leave the intensity of March behind and peek through the doorway into April. And so then that brings us to April 1st, which is 3 Shuin or monkey action through taking action through creating something new in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. The second is 4 Ebb or road stability through serving your community, while the sun is in a trine to Jupiter. So from our perspective here on the Earth, this is a 120-degree angle being formed between the Sun and Jupiter, which is one of the most positive transits, bringing enthusiasm and optimism. It can have the effect of people feeling lazy, but I would encourage folks to use this energy to accomplish something good for yourself. This is a day to project positive energy into your environment so that you can have some influence that can have some influence on your affairs and accomplishing something you desire. Some will see this as just dumb luck, but this transit has its roots in something that was done in the recent past, and this energy, this is great energy for making making changes to your life without feeling a sense of loss. This is also good for studying something of interest to you, particularly subjects that help us see the world as a whole with the influence of Jupiter. And then April 3rd is 5 Ben or reed or corn. This is empowerment through maintaining the home in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. And then the 4th is 6 Ish or jaguar, which is about being in the flow through enjoying nature. And we have the Libra full moon, full lunar eclipse and with the moon at 14 degrees Libra, in harmony with Jupiter, opposed by the Sun and Uranus, and challenged by Pluto. This is about finding balance between our personal needs with the Sun in Aries and our sensitivity to the needs of those we have emotional relationships with when looking at the moon in Libra. And with this lunation sextile Jupiter, the day brings good feelings and congenial social interactions. The new moon is opposed by Uranus, influences folks to be more emotionally excitable and impulsive, and challenged by Pluto to having the compulsion to act in ways that might not be good for them in the long run. And people do tend to howl on the full moon, and this one is all of that and more. Throughout the history, eclipses have been seen as bringing challenges, particularly to the part of the globe where they can be viewed. And this lunar eclipse is the third of 4 or tetrad total lunar eclipses occurring approximately 6 months apart, which began April 15th of last year, followed by October 8th of 2014, and the final being on September 28th of 2015, and which will all be visible in North America. And longtime NASA eclipse expert Fred Espenak said the most intriguing thing about the 2014-2015 tetrad is that all of them are visible for all or parts of the USA. April 5th, we've got 7 Men or Eagle reflection through seeing from a higher perspective, with the Sun in a square to Pluto. So from our perspective here on Earth, this is a 90-degree angle between the Sun and Pluto, which begins a tense time period when the Sun activates the separating Uranus-Pluto square. A square between the Sun and Pluto brings powerful forces that test us from within and without. These tests can lead us to making radical changes in some area of our life that is not working well. This can be very beneficial for letting go of the old pattern or behavior that's have come up for examination at this time. Holding on to what is not working will make your life more difficult. This transit also indicates that persons in authority may demand that we account for our actions or even ourselves. Some people will abuse the power that they are wielding under this influence. It also indicates a breakdown of situations and machinery. So no matter what your experience, something it will make you aware that it needs fixing. And my advice is to fix it, whether it's a machine, a relationship, a behavior, or a pattern that no longer works. And then on the 6th, we have 8 Keeb or wisdom, which is about balance through introspection, meditation, and forgiveness. And we've got Mercury in a trine to Jupiter. So from our perspective here on the Earth, this is again another 120-degree angle. This is great energy for making plans for the future from an overview perspective. This transit does influence us to take the easy way out and avoid difficult intellectual and mental problems. Mercury, supported by Jupiter, is good for business dealings and signing contracts, as we find our minds are sharper to opportunities that normally are overlooked. This is optimistic and promotes positive thinking and studying subjects that deal with a high level of thought, such as law, philosophy, religion, things of that nature. And then also on the 6th, we've got the Sun conjunct Uranus in Aries. So they're both at the exact same degree of Aries. And this is a day can be really full of surprises. Because Aries, Uranus is certainly brings unexpected. So it could also be unexpected disruptions. This transit can bring energy that wants freedom from the daily routine and to explore the inner self and explore activities that make us feel more alive. This could be a day to get out of a rut or break a habit. So folks who identify with routine and who are uncomfortable with disrupting their preordained plans will struggle with this transit, as it pushes us to depart from our entrenched expectations that ultimately lead to a dreary, lifeless existence. So flexibility it will greatly enhance your experience of the day. So this might be a day to plan to do something different. On a global and local as well as personal scale, this is the merging of illumination with rebellion in the sign of the individual. So we may see folks strike out against people, governments, and systems of oppression and other unbearable restrictions. The spectrum of this energetic is from liberation on one end to impulsive and rash behavior on the other, with a great potential for accidents. It's a day to avoid dangerous situations and activities, particularly if you are feeling anxious or overly excited. And then April 7th is 9 Kaban or Earth, patience experienced through gratitude for Mother Earth. And at this point, we've got Mercury in a square to Pluto. So from our perspective here on Earth, Mercury is at a 90-degree angle to Pluto, which can have folks obsessing about some thought or idea. So it's important in conversations to be open to others' points of view and not be forceful in getting others to agree with our beliefs. This may be a time when we experience one thought that dominates the day and leaves little room for anything else. The energy can easily provoke arguments over things that won't seem important in a few days. If you use this energy to explore your inner world, it could bring light to something that was hidden in the depths of our psyches. Great energy for studying subjects that deal with covert or hidden aspects such as psychology, magic, or the occult, as well as meditation and yoga to unveil the possibilities of human potential. And then on the 8th, we have 10 et snob or flint manifestation through being introspective. And at this point, Jupiter is turning direct, meaning that it begins moving forward from our perspective here on the Earth. Of course, this takes some time for it to build up momentum, but Jupiter's been retrograde since early December. Regardless, and retrogrades again are times of reviewing, and Jupiter is about opportunities. So this is a shift from people looking back at missed opportunities as they move forward into a more expansive future. And in Leo, this really could be about a time of expansion. In arts and creativity, as well as opportunities for leadership. I'd expect there to be dramas and ambitions to get a shot in the arm when the king of the gods, Jupiter, it moves forward again in the sign of the king of the jungle, being Leo. Grandeur, extravagant displays, boasting, and personal charm, entertainment, success, and creative opportunities are all themes of Jupiter in Leo. And then also on the 8th, Mercury is conjunct Uranus, so it's really moved quite a bit around the orbit. So now it's at the same degree as Uranus in Aries, which continues the interaction between planets and their higher octave planet. Here we've got Mercury mind and Uranus higher mind, which can be very exciting as our personal awareness is expanded into the larger consciousness of universal mind. This is very fast energy in thinking and communications, which could lead to quantum leaps of faith, or on the other side, people getting overwhelmed by all the new information. Excuse me. People also may be more prone to accidents as they're moving too fast to be cautious. Then April 9th, we have 11 Kawak or storm. Resolution through recognizing the gifts of adversity in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. And the 10th is 12 Ahau, or sun, understanding through honoring the wisdom and the memory of the ancestors. At this point, we have the sun conjunct Mercury. So now the Mercury is caught up with the sun in its orbit, which illuminates communications of all kinds. It's positive for being able to get points across, but also to listen very carefully to the expressions of others. Moving forward in Aries, moving forward toward the Aries new moon energy, this may bring commitments and conversations about new beginnings. Excellent energy to start a business venture as Mercury rules commerce. And then on the 11th, we have 13 Amish or crocodile, movement to the next stage through nurturing new beginnings. And at this point, we have Venus entering into Gemini. So big shift there, which brings chatty, superficial quality to social interactions. Venus in Gemini can bring a carelessness in spending money for the rest of April and into the next month before moving into Cancer on May 7th. So no matter what energies are affecting you during the one offering Trisena, take some time to be in the flow of the planet through being in nature or watching a sunrise or a sunset or communing with the stars, being conscious of the moment through introspection, meditation, or being with somebody you truly love, because every day really is a blessing, no matter what the dramas are that beckon to distract us. We're all here just giving a performance on this world stage. Just take some time to observe the play as well as act your part by remembering you're a spiritual being that's having a human experience. I want to thank you for checking out New World Birth, and the next segment of the care and feeding of a New World Age report will be on April 12th for 1 or wind, with Mercury moving into Taurus, Pluto turning retrograde, and the Aries new moon, and the Sun entering into Taurus. You can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and the Mayan Magics website. There are New World Birth presences in all those places. And I encourage you to share this information as video or as text as widely as you choose. And as always, I invite you to contact me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com if you have any questions or wish to schedule a reading. And I am providing readings and wish to make this service available to the greatest amount of folks. So I created 3 options with 3 levels of compensation. So if you've been thinking about getting a reading, please contact me. I would love to provide you a reading during these uncertain times. You'll need to be able to either call me in Maine or in the USA, or we can connect with Skype to receive your reading. We're also accepting donations to keep these reports freely available. And if you want to make a donation, again, just email me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com. Or get a reading. They're priced appropriately. I think if you look around at my prices compared to other people, you're going to realize that you're getting quite a good deal. I really do try to make sure that everybody can get something. Anyway, as always, I am blessed that you've taken the time to connect with my passion for these ancient mysteries and their application to our journey during this incarnation. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste, in Lakesh, and really a lot of gratitude to you for checking out New World Birth. And I look forward to connecting with you during the next Trecena report, or in a reading, or if you've got a question and choose to send me an email. Anyway, all my best to everybody.